All right, for phase two, which is the cover design, you're going to be exploring the elements of the cover. In other words, the title of the movement, the subtitle of the show, A Modern Perspective, and then the LA Gallery of Contemporary Art and the dates of the show. So you'll find that information on the class website. In the meantime, you'll be exploring different ways of laying out the design. You're going to be playing around with using each of the lines or you'll be experimenting with each of the lines of the content. In other words, the modern perspective, the name of the movement, the dates, or the LA Gallery as a dominant element in the design, just playing around with hierarchy, just like we did in the last project. And you're going to just be fussing with layout, just playing around with shape and possibly imagery, color for sure. And you're going to just be playing with all these variations in the way that you can handle those 4 lines of text. This designer opted to design everything using a dynamic grid. You obviously do not have to do that. And then they were playing around with some variations within the idea. So, it's basically it's an experiment in design and an experiment in hierarchy and obviously an experiment in typography. We saw the project here sampled in the first video, and you could see how she went through a variety of different approaches to getting the design of the cover worked out, and playing around with the different hierarchy, playing around with different shapes and color and so on, trying to capture the essence of the movement. And so she really went through a lot of different variations, really playing around with different styles. And I encourage you to do this. This is actually a very nice study group because you can see one style, and then she changed the design style and played around with that a little bit, and then changed the design style again and again, and these two obviously didn't make it. So that was a good study. Here, minimalism, this was kind of a neat idea of extracting the vowels and playing around again with the different hierarchy. In some cases, all being equal, but using the reversed out as the dominant. And so you can see that these really are different, and yet they share the common style of the minimalist movement, which was basically not, as little as possible. And those of you who know me know that minimalism is something that I really appreciate, and that it's basically a great design because it does the most with the least, and in essence, that's what good design is. Okay, here's another one. And, again, playing around with the hierarchy. This is a very, very thorough study. Just a lot of different variations in how to work with the hierarchy, playing around with repetition, similarity, extreme contrast, similarity and repetition, but value and contrast. Really a great study here. I mean, I really felt just this simple group of studies right here, here, and here were just great. Doesn't take a lot, and yet you can do a lot with very little. And so just kind of playing around again with so many of these different possibilities. Playing around with angles. I want you to explore angles. Angles, I think, are very powerful. Playing around with, outline type. Certainly a possibility. You're limited to one typeface for the design, but within that you have styles and weight and contrast and all kinds of cool options. So again, I think it's just a very, very thorough and very exciting group of studies. So just really, really, really well done. And this would be an A study. I mean, this person really did explore a lot of different possibilities, exploring a lot of different design styles, a lot of different typographic options, value, contrast, overlap, transparency, all of the things we've been talking about from the previous project, you can see have been extracted and then pushed into this design here. So again, very, very nice study there. So that's it. So have fun with this one.